the ever-frantic world of a Winston Cup tire changer.
Right front tire changer on the 55. Boo Whitaker. And they keep telling themselves, slower is faster. 2, 3, 4. See, an extra one. He had to hit that thing 6 times. That slows down. That's when you're trying to be too fast.
It didn't look like it was slow to me.
He's got a camera on his helmet for us today, and the green flag back out at Dover. Dale Earnhardt Jr. leading off pit road. Earnhardt Jr., Ryan Newman, Dale Jarrett, Rusty Wallace, and Jimmy Johnson, the top 5. Then Ricky Craven, Bill Elliott, Jeff Green, Greg Biffle, and Tony Stewart is up to 10. 39 cars on the lead lap. Hideo Fukuyama, Tim Sauter, 1 lap down. Jerry Nadeau, Ward Burton in the garage. And Dave is with Ward right now.
Ward, tell us how you're feeling and what happened.
I'm fine. 84 Cat Band and the race team and my sponsors. We were racing the 44 and the 18. The car was actually a lot better than it was yesterday. And 44 hit the wall coming off 4 and came down, and I was already right beside him. But I want to say 80,000. It's Jeb and Ash and Sarah back home. Tabitha's grandmother passed away this week. We're thinking about her family and all that. And we'll see y'all soon.
All right, thanks, Ward. Glad you're okay.
Ward Burton's car now officially retired from the race. He'll finish 43rd today at Dover. Bobby Labonte, I mentioned, made a pit stop before the pit road was open. Actually, he came in about 4 times under that yellow. What's going on there?
Alan Bobby Labonte restarted 39th. He came in, like you mentioned, several times. They pulled 2 spring rubbers out of the left rear and adjusted the track bar. He says the car is tight and the car is loose. It's all he can do to keep it off the wall. He says the car is horrible, the worst we've ever had here at Dover. He had a lot of high hopes coming in here, coming off his first top 5 since he won at Martinsville. The operative word, had.
Yeah, having a bad car anywhere is not any fun, but here at Dover, yeah.
And he's looking at 400 laps under. Well, it's only 360 now.
That's the best descriptive word you could come up with for that, huh?
That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Saw Robbie Gordon pass Jeremy Mayfield for the 19th spot in the 31 car.
And there's Mark Martin, the championship points leader, back in the 20th position. Actually 21st.
And working on Jeremy Mayfield for that 20th spot. Mark took the green flag in 30 seconds, so he's made a little progress.
Well, I mean, 21st is not too good, but Sterling Marlin is back behind that in the 31st position. That's good news, bad news.
Yeah. Jeff Gordon, a little close call there off the turn 2. Did he dust off that outside lane? I believe so.
See, you hear that throttle. You got to be careful when you get on that throttle getting off before, because if you get on it a little bit too early, well, Jerry Nadeau showed you what happens if you get it on too early.
Now, Jeff Gordon lost a spot to Robbie Gordon. That puts Jeff back to 19th. And here we go for 20th and 21st. Martin goes from trying to pass Jeremy Mayfield to trying to hold off Jimmy Spencer. Oh, look out. And Mike Skinner in there in the 4.
It looks like Mark is going to lose a couple of spots. The best thing about the high group, he's able to run about the same speed as Jimmy Spencer, about the same speed as he could on the bottom, on the top of the racetrack.
Yeah, normally when you're on the high side, though, you should have a little bit more speed getting off the corner. Right here, Jimmy should gain a little. But then from, whoa, boy, Park slid way up there. I don't know if that was by design or not, but I don't think so.
So Spencer by Martin for 21st. I think what we're seeing is a lot of guys run that high lane, but it looks like there's just a limit there. And if you get just outside that limit,
well, you got to be halfway decent through the center when you're on the outside. You know your car's better from off, but you got to be good through the center on the high side.
And there we see Sterling Marlin I talked about just a moment ago. He was back in 31st position. He has moved up to the 29th spot now. What are they saying about his car, Matt?
Well, Benny, he has climbed up to 29th, but he has his hands full. He says the car just will not cut. It is extremely tight. Besides the 4 tires of fuels, they pulled a rubber out of the left rear, put a rubber in the right rear, made a track bar adjustment, made a wedge adjustment, and then made a tire pressure adjustment, just trying to get that car better so Sterling can gain some ground. But right now, he has his hands full.
And that's what we were just talking about. Getting through the center here at Dover is the key.
Schrader and Waltrip racing there just behind him. Now Tony Raines going through in the 74. And that 14 car, Mike Wallace, he made 3 pit stops on that last set of yellows.
And looks like his car is running a little bit better. Talking about Mike Wallace. And by the way, while we have him on the screen, he said to be sure and say happy birthday to his wife, Carla. Her birthday yesterday.
Question asked. And done. Dale Earnhardt Jr. putting second lap on Hideo Fukuyama. Bill?
And high expectations for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Left here very confident yesterday afternoon. Told his crew chief, car chief Tony Eury Jr., you look at your notes, do what you think the car needs, and I'll drive the wheels off of it. But you talked about getting through the middle of these turns. That's been just part of Earnhardt Jr.'s problem today. Here's some of the radio traffic from just a moment ago.
Just kind of just bounce, about like last year. And kind of neutral in, real tight in the center, and you know, loose off. I'm not really tight in the middle of 3 and 4 as much as I am 1 and 2. I just lose the nose real bad, 1 and 2 in the center, loose off of 2, loose off 4, kind of just bouncing.
Bounce is not good.
No, and if they fix the push in the center, I think that's going to fix the loose off. Because what's happening, he's turning the wheel so far in the middle of the corner, when he gets to the exit, the car wants to go sideways because you got the wheels turned to the left already.
Change for third, Rusty Wallace by Dale Jarrett. Rusty led 15 laps in the early going, lost a little ground on that set of pit stops, and now he's trying to pick his way back to the front. Bill, you got more on Junior?
Yeah, Alan, just to follow that up, he said because he's loose coming off the turns, you really don't want to be loose at Dover because you know how fast you can get into the wall. But he said he was more concerned with the tightness in the middle of the turns, and the way he described that, Wally, he says it's not like a tight where the car won't turn. It's like the whole car slides up the track. So that's what they were trying to fix with an air pressure adjustment. His latest radio transmission is the car is just too tight.
Yeah, that sounds like, Bill, I don't know, what do you think, BP? The car almost has too much bite, that the rear is driving the front of the car if it's pushing up the racetrack like that.
Yeah, that could be.
Trouble. Ryan Newman, last week's winner, is around. He was running second. That's turn 2.
Boy, he got away without hitting anything.
How do you do that at Dover?
I don't know.
Yeah, just got loose.
Just got loose, he said.
Any damage for the car? No, but I don't think I'm pulling anything. 10-4.
Matt Borland, the crew chief, talking to his driver.
That's unbelievable that you can spin and not hit something.
Right front flat.
Here you see him going down into turn 1. Yeah, it's just turned loose on him. And it didn't look like Rusty was even close enough to get the air off the spoiler.
And Rusty's trying to figure out which way to go. Finally, he sees the 12 car going up, and
how lucky is that?
how lucky is he?
What, he stopped 3 feet from the wall? That just doesn't happen.
Those tires do have more grip.
Yeah.
Slow down better.
Oh, Rusty.
Clear.
Attaboy, Earl Barban, the spotter. And guess what? All back on pit road to put new tires on these things.
Just stopped at lap 32. Here we are completing lap 55.
I think they're going to be coming in all day like this.
Tire changer's going to be tired at the end of the day. Matt, Jimmy Johnson with a good run going.
He sure is, but he still needs a little help trying to fix that forward bite. They're going to adjust the 48 car once again with air pressure. Bill.
Not a long run under green, but Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car a little tight. Rusty had to back up in his pit stall, the 2 over the front line. Look, working on the right side of the 2. Rusty's car is okay, but again, Junior's car is tight. An air pressure adjustment to try and fix that. Junior's on his way. It's going to be the second time the 2 has had a long stop waiting on the left side tires as half the field roars away.
Oh, man, Rusty just loses spot after spot, sitting there on pit road, Dave.
Real trouble for Ryan Newman. The plan was to make a wedge adjustment, take a rubber out of the right rear. The rubber's still sitting in the pit box. It's outside the pit box now in the middle of his pit. That's what they pulled out of the right rear to try to fix the tight condition, the loose condition. But Jeff Green punted their tire on his way out of the pit. They had to go retrieve that. A disaster for Ryan Newman and his crew.
So a tough set of stops for the Penske team. Rusty Wallace over the front line losing time. Ryan Newman bringing out the caution and having problems on pit road as well.
Why